song. And what's interesting about that song is that, or that psalm, is that it's like all his doubt. He says, like, why did you leave me? Why have you left me for all this? It's like all of his insecurities, all of his worries. And then as he progresses in the psalm, he remembers that, like, all the stuff that happened in the beginning, and then it's like his faith comes back. And it made me think of, like, my struggles, you know. I can go through some experiences in life to where I forget about, like, a lot of things. Yesterday, I was, like, tripping. I'm not tripping as much today, but I was tripping. And then this Dodge Intrepid passes me by. I haven't seen that car in a long time. And I remember I was driving that car. I was like, I'd been up for days. I was heading to work. And, you know, this was like 2004, 20 plus years ago, 21 years ago. Maybe even 2003, maybe 2004, and the engine caught on fire, and I pulled over to the side of the road, and I had to have that car towed. I just kept thinking, man, like, I forgot about all that. And it's wild how, like, I could be in my head and see something like that. Brings me, like, right back to a place. It's like the terrible nostalgic, you know, being, like, having something that's nostalgic doesn't have to necessarily be good. And how far I've come from that place to making, like, whatever situation I've got going on right now worse. It's not. Then I went into a meeting, or I logged on to a meeting that I didn't want to log on to, but I know I needed one last night. It's like I go to them when I don't need them. I always need them, but I go to them when I'm feeling good. And then when, like, I'm not feeling that great or I'm feeling shitty, I don't. So I logged on and got to hear somebody's story. And the topic of discussion was complacency. And I thought about, like, what that means to me. The difference between complacency and being stagnant. And how I can be either one of those two in my recovery. Somebody had told me recently that they didn't feel I was ready to sponsor somebody. And for a second there, I agreed with them. And I talked to my sponsor, and he had said I was more than ready. And he thought it was a good thing that I was going to do that. And here I said, doing my best to focus on somebody else instead of myself. I think that's the whole point. Like, I think what God will do is God will put people in my life to either help them or to to help me, and or to learn about me. And to like not take information I'm given so much from people, to not like, there's a book called The Four Agreements. I've shared about it plenty, but I'm going to bring it up because today's a new day. The first thing is be impeccable with your word. Be honest to yourself and be honest to others. Practice that principle as much as you can. Don't lie to anybody. Don't lie to yourself. I find myself lying to myself a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and say because I'm human. Like, I might be like, well, this situation's, you know, supposed to work out. And even if it feels like it's not right, I'll lie to myself. Little lies. And like, I don't realize I'm doing it. I'm just running in my own will. What I don't do is lie to others. I've been really good about that. I don't lie to others. I can say that with conviction. I can say that and feel good about saying that. And it's been really rough not doing that. Even if I want to make somebody feel better. It sucks. It was a mask I wore for a long time. The other thing is to not assume anything. Man, that's one I struggle with the most, I have to say. I assume everything. I assume the information that I'm given is meant for something else. Whatever. That's a practice that I'm trying my hardest to not do. And yet I find myself failing with it the most. Well, I take that back. Taking things personally, that's another agreement that I struggle with. The two middle I struggle with the most. The two ends I find myself doing a pretty good job with. The being impeccable with my word, and then the always doing my best. And my best today may not be as good as tomorrow, and it may be yet better than yesterday, but it may not be as good as last week, but it's as good as it's going to be today. So just my best. Now, there are certain areas of my life that I'm not even good, like cleaning my house, like being a parent. I don't know if I'm doing my best at being a parent. You know, a lot of the times I find myself just being there as a person. You know, and other times I find myself being good. Sometimes I'll hear something that somebody says and it'll make me feel like I'm a terrible parent. But I know, but like if I compare it to what a terrible parent was in myself when I was getting loaded and up in my room, I'm better than that. But that doesn't make me great. So I got a lot of work to do. And not as much time as I had 20 years ago. Back when I was driving that Dodge Intrepid. But I'm in the right place. And everything's happening the way it's supposed to happen. Even if I don't like how most of it's happening. Guess the password was right on Spotify. And my life is a lot better than it was, but not as good as it could be, and not as good as it will be. But it's a lot better. Listened to a pastor yesterday talk about and you gotta take in those wins. We don't want to because we feel like we're a bad person by not doing that. You know, and then I'm in a meeting last night, and this person this girl's got 35 years. I love when I hear somebody with like 30 plus years in recovery. Like, what was it like back in 1980 something, when like they were like hiding from places, and it was okay to be an alcoholic, but fucking if you're a crackhead, holy shit, man. And that struggle had to have been different. And she was like, you guys are tripping on relationships, you guys are tripping on like all this other shit. You can get fucking high today. You gotta count that as a fucking win. I can remember using against my will. I can remember like saying, I don't want to fucking get loaded tonight. And fucking I'm high that night. Fucking just dying inside. I know life has more to offer than just being like, well, at least I didn't get high. But when shit's falling apart or it doesn't feel right, don't forget, I was praying that I just would not get loaded. Sometimes that has to be the thing. Sometimes that has to be like the most important thing. And it has to be the most important thing. If I'm an addict like I say I am, and I suffer from the disease of addiction, then there was a time, man, where I would have prayed to like come into work and trip about my monies. And be all tripping about a relationship that didn't work out. Fuck, man, that last relationship, and I'm not talking about the last one, I'm talking about the one where I was getting loaded with this person, and we were fighting, and I was scared to be outside, and all of that shit, and I'm not going to go into detail and share her inventory. I don't live like that no more. I don't live like that no more. This morning I was tripping about money, man, and then that voice popped in my head and said, you needed to ask for this, and that's available. And I'm like, okay. I got to remember that my higher power talks to me that way. I have an option. So tripping like today and walking around like a zombie, it's not the only option. Life isn't terrible. And life is good. And after what I got messaged today, I'm available to help somebody who definitely needs a friend. And a sponsor isn't just somebody who works steps with somebody, it's somebody who can be there that a person can lean on. There's a reason we're supposed to talk to each other for a certain amount of time before we even go into that. And I'm starting to get that on a different level now. I've had sponsees before, and it was all Zoom. And this is not Zoom. And so this is definitely going to be a challenge that God feels that I'm up for, whatever the fucking phrase is. And I got this monster on my face still. Why not post it on the internet? I woke up extra early today. I went to the gym. I have a gym membership. I'm driving to work in my car. Gas is in my car. My cars aren't going to get taken. I have a solution now. And when I came home last night, I got the most amazing love by Lucy and Grayson. Halloween's coming up and we're going to go trick-or-treating. I need to quit tripping. The holiday season stressed me out. But I know somebody that's like gonna be sad through it all. My heart goes out to them. Because they have nobody. I get all wrapped up in my own shit. And I forget that, like, if I lost my fucking dad, and then it was fucking close to fucking holidays, I'd be fucked up, man. Maybe I need to quit tripping too. Be grateful. Fuck, man. I can really be self-centered and forget about some things in my life. This person is fucking not doing good. And they're doing the best they can to be good. Maybe I need to, like, be a little more grateful instead of a little ungrateful. I'm grateful I got to meet somebody. Well, let's go in and fucking kill it at work. We have what it takes, don't we? We got this. We just do the damn thing. If anybody's watching this, I love you. Even if you don't know me. Maybe you came across this video and you just haven't heard I love you in a long fucking time. So hopefully I'm the person that says it to you. It gives you somewhat of a smile for today. And then maybe you can look in the mirror and say it to yourself. I struggle with that too. I don't say that to myself enough. So Rodney, I love you. It's gonna be okay.